Hi guys! So I'm actually on my way into London now to go and do some fabric shopping. There's quite a few shops that I wanted to have a little look around that I've never been to before, so that's going to be really exciting, and I thought I'd bring you along. Let's see what we find. So I decided to have a look at the fabric shops on Goldhawk Road, and it was a fairly miserable day. It started to rain, but I was actually quite surprised to see that all of the fabric shops were literally next door to each other. So I had a little snoop around in each of them and actually found a lot of really nice sort of jersey fabric and ribbed fabric, which was really nice to see, and some quite neutral colours, but also lots of other fun colours as well. Things like fleecing and corduroy and all that fun jazz. There was a whole section on suiting fabric, which I don't think I've ever seen as much suiting fabric as this, but I know where to come if I need it. And there was a lot of sequins and diamantes and colourful patterns, flanelling, you name it, it was there. This wool and herringbone fabric really caught my eye. I really want to make a coat in the future, and I think I may be using one of these fabrics because it looks pretty lovely, especially the blue one. I definitely could see myself wearing the blue one. But they did have this beautiful variety of colourful wool and actually quite reasonably priced, so I definitely know where I'm going to be coming back to when I have that project designed. And here you can see lots of faux leather, velvet, corduroy, crushed velvet, PVC, just the absolute works, and on this side the more cosier fabrics. I then decided to head to the charity shops. I also saw this lovely little lap sewing tray with this gorgeous sewing themed fabric, and there were quite a few fabric pieces that I were really tempted to pick up, things like this autumnal floral print, but I just didn't have a plan for it, and I just didn't want to add any more to my already hugely growing fabric stash. Now this blue ditzy floral print was also very lovely, and this embroidered white fabric also could have had a place in my summer wardrobe. But because they're both for the summer, I just feel that they would just be hanging around for way too long. So guys, I thought I'd show you what I picked up in London in terms of fabrics. I didn't buy a huge amount just because I wasn't really a fan of the shopping experience, and this wasn't down to the shops themselves. I think this is just how I like to shop. If I give you a bit of a backstory, I used to buy a lot of my fabrics in person at my local fabric shop, where there was such a beautiful range of fabrics. It was a really big store. They could always manage to get hold of different colours sort of from their vendor or their supplier, whoever they got them from. And yeah, everything was just kind of reasonably priced, and a lot of the fabrics were a lot more sort of classical and elegant and timeless. So I mean, since that closed down, I've really struggled to find a similar fabric shopping experience, which has been a real shame. I like buying online in the sense that I can scroll for fabrics from the comfort of my own home, but I find it really difficult to understand the texture of the fabric, the weight of the fabric, the density of the fabric, and all that sort of stuff. And I think once I know those bits of information about a piece of fabric, that then helps me decide what I want to make out of the fabrics. So yeah, online fabric shopping has its place for sure. And the reason for going into London to go fabric shopping is I thought I would check some in-person shops out, see if I could find a similar vibe to the local one that I had a couple of years ago. And I think a lot of you know about the Goldhawk Road area. It has a lot of fabric shops, and I didn't go to all of them around there. I need to go and do a separate trip to go in to, I think, Blackbird Fabrics is near there, so I want to go to there next time. Of course, I will take you along when I do that. I went to There's quite a few sort of independents along that street, and they're all kind of clustered together, which I find very strange because they all had very similar fabrics and they were almost in competition with each other, which is a bit strange. But what I didn't like was mainly the fact that they weren't transparent with the prices. So as in there was no labelling of each individual fabric. You kind of had to ask. And there was one of the fabrics was a little bit pricey for me, and I thought, I don't really have a particular project in mind for it. I don't really see the point of buying it if I don't have a project in mind. If it was kind of reasonable price, I probably would have anyway. And the guy started haggling with me, and I thought, I'm not sure this is my vibe. I like to be able to go to a shop, see the price, know that it's a fair price, and just purchase at that price, rather than going in and thinking, everything here is probably being priced higher than I should be paying. And they know that. And that's just completely weird to me. I don't think that's sort of an experience that I enjoy, because, I don't know, fabric shopping is a leisure activity. And I think if you then have to haggle, knowing that otherwise you're going to overpay, I think it's just really tiring. I mean, do you guys feel the same way, or is that just me being totally unreasonable? I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah, they had lots of everything really. I wouldn't say I wouldn't go there again, but I just don't think it's like my ideal shopping scenario. Guys, tell me, explain to me, how do you like to fabric shop? Because I think as well over the last couple of years, since the pandemic and obviously things being locked down, I think people have transferred more onto fabric shopping online. And I don't know if as many people have gone back to the in-person fabric shopping experience. And if you don't go into the fabric shops themselves, how do you find the online shopping experience for fabrics? I would just genuinely like to know and understand, because I'm struggling a little bit. I'm in a midlife crisis sewing dilemma, and I would just like to know what everyone else does. I really like to touch fabrics, and I think the other thing is that a lot of the more Instagrammable fabric shops, they all look amazing and everything's always nicely folded and in line and aesthetically pleasing, which is great. And I totally get that from like a consumer perspective. But there is something about like rummaging around. It's a little bit like going to Thrift or like going to a market. There's something quite fun about sort of rummaging through and like finding gems that just kind of adds to the excitement. I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to go to all the fabric shops in London and outside of London and find a place that sings to my heart. So if you guys have any recommendations, then do let me know. I'm all ears. But yeah, let me show you what I picked up anyway, ramble aside. Now, the first piece is a sweatshirting piece, and a really simple, plain, classic piece. And the reason why I decided to get this one, see if you can focus, there we go, is that although it's grey and uniformly grey, there is some texture to the fabric. So there's sort of lighter patches and darker patches of grey, which I think just adds to the, I don't know, depth of the fabric, I suppose. And if you look at the insides, it's so soft, it's so fluffy and so warm that I don't think it's even possible to explain how that feels. And that completely won me over, because I really want to make a sweatshirt with potentially sweatshirting shorts, and yeah, I thought this would be perfect for that. And again, the reason why I hadn't bought this online is that I like to touch this sort of thing, and the super soft inside was super important to me. If it's not soft and fluffy inside, it's not a sweatshirt. And I think I got this for, so he originally said £15 a metre and went down to 12, which is a big difference. This is why I was saying it's not nice to go into a shop and think that the original price they're giving to you is overpriced already, and that if you don't fight it, you're overpaying for what they're willing to sell it to you for. Mind baffling, mind baffling. But yeah, I got a metre of this one. Obviously, if I need to make some more things out of it, then I will go and buy some more. But That's what I got so far for that one. And now this one, I have no idea what this is called. So if any of you guys know what type of fabric this is called, then I would love to know, because it's a strange one. And this is the one that was in a roll about that wide. And this is it. Now this was the only colour they had. And I don't think I would have chosen this colour if they had other colours. One of the shops had this in like a nude colour, like a skin colour, a bit lighter than me. But I thought that was a bit too nude and probably a little bit too transparent. So I opted for this colour. I don't know if you can see. It's like a wrinkled stretch fabric, and it's super stretchy. And at first, when it was on the roll, this is the width of the roll. So it was rolled up like that. And I thought, after you cut it half a metre, I think, what am I going to do with half a metre? And then I realised it's tubular. So, mind baffling. But what I really want to make out of this is a swimwear piece. I thought this would look really, really nice. But I just don't know what this is called. I really want to be able to find other colours. But I have no idea what this is called. So if any of you guys know what this is called, then let me know. But yeah, I haven't really decided if I want it as a swimsuit or whether I want it as a bikini. Or to be honest, it could even be a dress with this length. So it could even do sort of a boob tube dress. So lots of options with that one. It's a little bit transparent, as you can see. Although the light behind me is very bright, unusually bright. But yeah, let me know what you would make out of this. It's a tubular, so it's double this width. It's this long, but it's got a two-way stretch, like a lot of stretch. And yeah, it's this texture. So if you have any ideas, if you have any ideas on what I can make with this, I would love to know what you think. It doesn't feel like a swimwear fabric, to be honest. And I don't know how quick it would dry. Maybe we could test it out. But yeah, let me know. So those are the two pieces that I did pick up. But I think mainly for me it was the experience of going in and seeing if I could find a fabric shop that had a similar vibe to what I was after. I suppose it's a step closer, but still not the ideal fabric shopping experience. And I would love to know if you guys have the same dilemma or whether you're fairly content with just shopping online. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see some more fabric hauls from me, you can watch this playlist just over here. And if you want to see free sewing pattern videos from me, then I'll also leave a playlist on this side. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy sewing!